Let's get going. Me, you, all of us. Star Trek time. Star Trek Fleet Command time. Star Trek more content time. Yep. Look, I said it on Twitch yesterday. And I'm not saying this to berate anybody, but the day Star Trek Fleet Command stops bringing content every month, the day the game dies. So, you get new content. Many of you probably already expect that, and that's fine. We're going to go over some of those things today, answer some of those questions, try to do as much as we can with answering those questions. And after that, also get your opinion on the Incursions. Were they better? Were they worse? I personally think Incursions were drastically improved because of the event stores. However, that's just my opinion. It could not be that way for you. So I want to kind of get an opportunity or provide an opportunity for everybody to voice what they think as we go through and do all of our clicks, all of our dailies, and all of the things. Welcome in, y'all. It is the first day of December. Yes, it is coming up on Christmas time and everything. And yep, before you ask, there are pieces of content specifically about Christmas coming this month. So there you go. There you go. We will start because I think Felix brings up a good one. Here's what I want to start with. Incursions to me, finally, worth doing. I mean, look, I've always said that I'm a fan of Incursions because I'm a fan of the PvP systems in terms of like interacting with people. I'm not saying the PvP is balanced in Star Trek Fleet Command, any of that, but I am saying I've always enjoyed Incursions for the ability to interact with other players in the game. However, the rewards have not always been worth it. With the update, I think the rewards are finally there. And if you are free to play watching this video, listen to me. You're going to want to do every Incursions possible that comes around for the next couple months. Here's why. So, number one, you got to change to the Incursions trophy. I want to mention this first, simply because I didn't realize this until yesterday. I knew the regular store got updated, but if you go to this section of the store, I do want you to note they've improved this as well. Normally, this was just for frames, but if you are on a server that wins, you've got some nice care packages to turn in with things like the tier up cats, more Incursions coins, and Syndicate. So be mindful of this getting an update. So you have a couple of updates. The Incursions trophy bucket has been updated, but more importantly, the actual Incursions store has been updated. And if you're free to play and you're the most PvE player in the world, fine. Let me tell you why as a free to play, you absolutely want to be doing as much Incursions as you can because they have added Fleet Commander Lorca. Now, we can all talk about different ways that Scopely can frustrate us. It's true, and there's no reason to deny that. And new content is generally a way that makes that happen. But one thing that can make up for that is providing routes that speed up your gameplay so you can kind of nullify older content to race for the newer content, right? Well, Fleet Commander Lorca now has a free-to-play path where pure free-to-play picked them up this weekend. Now, that is based on them having the coins. Not everybody has that. I get that. However, as you can see, this is my level 25 account. I just picked up 10 Fleet Commander Lorca shards. This is the most important free-to-play addition to a store in months, all right? And I don't think a lot of people really understand the value of Fleet Commander Lorca. Now, I talked about him when he came out. He is literally the value of all the other FCs combined, but it was easy to kind of just dismiss it if you were a free-to-play or a low spender because, well, let's just be honest, you weren't expecting to get him anytime soon. And then we saw he got sourced through the Vindicator loop, and we went, well, that's fine. We just got to get the Vindicator, then we can get it. And then they break out with this. Fleet Commander Lorca available in the Incursions store. If you aren't aware of why he's so powerful, well, I'm going to give a brief revision here in a second. And I just want to point out that that wasn't the only valuable thing added in to the Incursion store. Yes, there's Fleet Commander Lorca, but there's also other things as well. Some of these officers you might want. I actually had a few players asking about these. But if you scroll down, you have War Room. Obviously, the War Room controversial is never really runs enough and all these other things. But War Room emblems, you also continue on down and can find the other good juicy things you're maybe used to, like the subspace relay upgrades. But the biggest one that everybody should be paying attention to is Fleet Commander Lorca being available. And this is a item, and this is a character that will change your game for the positive. Now, I don't have it here. Clearly, I'm still working on it. But I can still show y'all what his abilities are with this account. We might switch to the server 20 account because there are other things in the store that I can't see at level 25. But look at just from the leader tab right here. You talk about how can this benefit me? I don't really care about PvP. Fine. But even if you only care about efficiencies, look at this one. Fierce Ship Intent increases base cost efficiency of materials and resources when upgrading ship components. So making ships easier to upgrade with mats, rares, uncommons, etc. Also, that makes it better for you as a player because the more of this you have, the better your returns are when it comes to scrapping those ships later on. With that maxing out at 350%, I took mine on my main account, I think, to 200%. Very, very good. Very, very useful. So, not just that. What about this one? Base efficiency cost materials on buildings. You come down to the bottom rung, assuming you're high enough level, you have ship parts getting reductions. So, to me, Incursions got a massive facelift in a positive way because of the addition of Fleet Commander Lorca, which is why I'm just screaming to anybody that'll listen. Whether you win or lose Incursions, you want to participate to get the coins, if for no other reason, to get Lorca. And maybe you get Lorca and you say, okay, don't need anything else. And if that's your decision, fine. But updating this event store in every way has drastically improved the value. And sure, maybe you did not realize it this weekend. Maybe you weren't at streams. Maybe you're with your families because it was Thanksgiving. Completely fine. The next time Incursions are rolling around, I'm encouraging everybody to take their participation rates higher than they've been in the past. Just make sure you do your SMSs and try to help your survey or your server win. Let me know if you've done that in the comments, by the way. Demon Chris says comp chest for the bi-week servers gets you 1/10 of Lorca. Correct. That's actually how I got the shards that I have here on server 710. Server 710 does not participate in Incursions yet, but literally just for existing, the buy chest hit and I was able to do that upgrade. Also going to upgrade this building real quick before I switch on over to server 20. And then I'm going to hit that store again because there are more items in the store, again, based on your level. So you saw me having a few different things with level 25, but even more if you are the appropriate level, like Galactic Acclaims are in here, which I think is valuable for down the road. Canadian for your armory upgrades, your District 56, specialty ships, a lot of good things added in, this being the number one. Fleet Commander Lorca to me is the most valuable in here, but lots of good. So let's see, J4 says they also added more grinding benefits from those trophies. They did. We covered that earlier, Jay. At the bare minimum, get your SMS done. Agreed. So I get it. And I'm not even arguing for people to say enjoy Incursions. I'm just simply saying there is a lot of value here that if you're willing to participate with your server in Incursions, you can cash out and get good stuff. I forgot the Incursions events are already gone. But you can get good stuff and cash out for really, really good, valuable rewards. Now, congrats, Eric, for winning your first Incursion on 7-9. That's pretty awesome. Slither says, thanks to hoarding, I managed to unlock and tier up Lorca during an FC event completely free to play. Great, Slither. Here's where I'm at. Now, I told y'all that I would not upgrade my Fleet Commander Lorca until he was available to free to play. Well, as you can imagine, this weekend, Fleet Commander Lorca is now sitting proudly as my #1 Fleet Commander spot, and it is already providing a drastic improvement to my level 53 account. And I got it all done, and now everybody else can have the same. You see I upgraded some of these efficiencies down here. And I still have a long way to go. But between the ISO increase, this one is a nice little early on for artifact shards, making your artifact loop easier. I've only done 5 out of 15 on that. This has been a tremendous, I'm gonna sound dramatic. It's a godsend to free to play, honestly. For him to have this level of sourcing this early, I just wanna make sure everybody knows about it. Just wanna make sure everybody knows about it. Positive, the Thanksgiving Alliance fight. I think there's been a lot of positive. Now, I understand, because to be very clear, I'm not trying to brush aside anybody who is potentially frustrated by the news that just came out about I'm gonna be honest with what it is. It's a complicated loop. It is. Now, let me put it on the screen. This is for the Revenant. It is a complicated loop. It is essentially Stella 2.0. New ship is coming. They've already announced it, so I don't have to hide it. I want to point out, I knew about this and still had my level of excitement in November. Take with that information what you will. Here's my opinion on new content coming in the game, like the new ship and this new loop, because it is multiple new armada types, multiple new currencies, etc. As long as they continue to source older stuff and make older loops completable, I'm cool with this. Okay? That might not be a popular opinion. I'm acknowledging it now. But stuff like the IA building that came out in November, we already know from game design talking to us, we've provided this to y'all. The IA building will have more things added to it in the future. As long as older loops are being completed and things are being done to improve the quality of life, I'm okay with new content. Now, not gonna lie to you, this thing is a heck of a loop, and it is a complicated loop. I will have a full video about it tomorrow morning discussing that. I get why people go, why always new content? And it's like I tell everybody. You're never getting a month where stuff doesn't come out. And it's unrealistic to say that, because I know some people in the quality versus quantity argument think that there's going to be this magical month where it's nothing but bug fixes and that's all they do. That's never going to happen, ever. The moment that happens, if y'all see a month where they don't do anything, your game is dead. Simple answer. They're going to put the game in maintenance mode when that stops. So there has to be something, but as long as they're giving us quality of life and as long as they're removing older things, I will be okay with it. We'll see how that rolls. Gary asks, why not improve current loops and inserting new ones? Easy answer, Gary. Money. This game is here to make money, not to make you happy with like joys of nostalgia in Star Trek. It's here to make money. Older update loops do not make money like new stuff does. And here's an example. The last ship they released that we all laughed at and talking about, it's so ridiculous, nobody asked for this, still sold over 10,000 units in the first 48 hours. So that, not counting upgrade packs that people bought, was $1 million in revenue, gross revenue, like that. Bam, first 48 hours, over $1 million gross revenue. The game's going to release content to make money. Hard to envision the Revenant not having the exact same thing. Why would I hate on the business trying to make money as long as they're also doing things like the IA building, quality of life updates, improving older loops? Right? There's your answer. I'm not gonna lie to you about it, but shoot with you straight. When you got people, and keep in mind that the Vindicator sold low, like the Vindicator sold less than the NSEA in the first 48 hours. And if that ship can sell 10,000 units, well, wouldn't you as a game do the same thing? Of course you would. So that's why. So it's all about finding that balance. I get the looking at this and going, dang it, not again. He is, can we continue to get other things wrapped up? And as long as that ends up being the case, I'm fine with it. Now, most of the year, as y'all know, I've not been fine with things. November, I was fine with things. December, we'll see what y'all think when y'all see the entire picture. Now, I did say this on Twitch this weekend. Little surprising to do this as a preview when everybody is screaming for quality of life previews, and there is quality of life happening this month. And no, I can't tell you what that is. You'll have to wait. So when y'all get the full picture, very curious to see what y'all say then. But this is a ship for level 42 and above that will essentially kind of take where you had an old Stella loop. I'm just going to call this the new Stella loop. In a lot of ways, it is the Stella with the scrapping mechanic, with the Armada mechanic, and how it works, with a lot of good efficiency things thrown in here for speeding up your previous upgrades. So, yeah. You don't mind the new loops if they add more things to the IA? Correct, Sugar. That's where I'm at. Now, I'm not telling y'all new things are getting added into the IA in December, but I am telling you that they are adding things to the IA in the future. So, it is happening. It is happening. Team and Chris says, Osprey 2 have all special ships. Would you endorse pouring all Incursions coins into subspace relays? I would encourage pouring all of your Incursion coins into Fleet Commander Lorca. And if you haven't gotten Fleet Commander Lorca, do that. Now, if you have, we'll discuss other things. The subspace relay is a good place to drop them, especially buildings slow drip their sourcing just like ships. If you have all the ships and you have Fleet Commander Lorca, then those buildings, pick which one you feel is best for you, then do that. Plenty will get FC Lorca in an event store. Demon Chris, dang it, listen to me right now. Do Lorca right now, okay? Get Lorca now. Everybody here who has Lorca, y'all scream at Chris, you will not regret it. I need everybody in chat to say the same thing. You will not regret it. Get Lorca now. In fact, if you wait 2 months, by the time you get him, you'll be like, dang it, why did I wait? I should have got him 3 weeks ago. I should have got him 3 days ago. You're going to want it now. I promise you. You'll want him now. That good. So, he's that good. Get him now. Can't get him anyway. You're on a bye week. You can still work towards it. I'm telling you, the fastest thing, the quicker you can source that. Here's my opinion. Now, if you want to ignore that opinion, completely okay, right? I say it all the time. There's not one way to play this game. You don't have to play it Rev's way. But even if you were like me at level 25, I could only put 10 shards to Lorca. I still did it. I still did it. Any shard I can do to expedite that, because here's the thing. If you put forth to your Lorca now, well, you said you want to get them in an event store. Well, that just means you save that event store currency for something else anyway. I would say that if you're a free-to-play watching my videos, you have an opportunity now to start working towards what is arguably the most valuable thing in the game in terms of how it affects everything. That doesn't mean there aren't great things. Like in PvP, the Tantalus Field, the Q Cannon, the Slipstream reign supreme, for example. But if we're talking about something that just impacts every layer of your game, why does that impact every layer? Well, how about this? A 20% ISO bonus. That affects every layer of your game and every ship, whether it's PvE, Armadas, PvP. Cost reduction. That affects every layer of your game. Especially artifact cost reduction. Every layer of your game. Even regular resources if you really want to go that route. You know, every layer of your game is affected by Lorca. He's just that good. That's where I'm encouraging everybody to go. Even if you can only get a piece of him, work on getting a piece, because the quicker you get Lorca, especially with him being new, you know, remember, we talk about things coming into the game and then like a year later they've been outdated. Lorca's not even that old. So the quicker you can get Lorca, the more you're able to take advantage of these big numbers actually mattering, right? That's why I'm trying to help everybody like get into the mindset of Lorca, because he, for better or for worse, is the pinnacle of power creep in 2024. He is the singular item that has the most impact in Star Trek Fleet Command. And now free-to-play have an ability to start working towards him, whether they get him now or they get him between this and an event store. Absolutely critical, in my opinion, to improve everybody's gameplay. And it also puts everybody more on an even playing field, because now everybody has access to him, and he just came out a couple of months ago. And I'm honestly mind blown that they did this. So, Jay Forbes says he has 4 primes built in. I'd argue he's more than 4 primes. Like, I know I'm just basically becoming a, TikTok influencer with how dramatic I'm being. But truly, like, you look at some of the things that he does, the Apex barrier, there's a prime for that. Like, that's 1 right there. The ISO defense, there's primes for that. There's primes for ISO damage. There's primes for, honestly, with the level that this gets up to number-wise, you can argue this is a couple of primes, right? I'll be honest, Chris, I am shilling, but I'm shilling for the free-to-play. I'm trying to let the free-to-play shills know. Here is your opportunity to get a big jump. So, anyway, I don't want to spend the all day talking about this. I just want to make sure players know the potential impact this can have to their game in a positive way. And it's very, very rare for Scopa to provide something this early. That's really all I can say, right? The NSEA had great sourcing. We praised it. Now Fleet Commander Lorca has great sourcing, and I just want to praise it. So, all right, I'll stop the shilling now. I'll quit. And then y'all can make the decision for yourself. But even if I can only get a scrap of Lorca this time around, like on server 710, I'm going to do it. Because that's how much he impacts the game, and I am just bewildered. I almost like want to go, Scopa, did you mess up here? Was that supposed to happen? But too late now. No takey backsies. There you go. So other things that got added in real quick. Let me go ahead and throw those in, since I've spent the entire time gushing over Lorca. The trophies, because I showed you the lower level account, there are more things in here, like the Mirror Research Care Package. And I also dumped a lot into this. And for those that don't know, I'm really into the ISO artifacts and the premium artifact pulls. And I'm big on trying to max out the artifacts. It's more ISO damage. It's more efficiency researches. So there are several things added into the trophy aspect. If you're a part of a winning squad, it's not just avatars and hailing frequencies and frames now. You actually have things that give your account value. There's just more things to look at. I know Incursions for a long time has been an ignore for many people. Well, now it's at least do your SMSs, at least get your coins that you can do stuff like this. And you're right, Fat Man. Lorca's skill points are also in the Incursion story. So if you don't have a Vindicator and you did get Lorca, you're still getting more things to upgrade Lorca, which is good. Which is good. So there you go. Rev, need help trying to start a new game on PC. Game freezing up a tutorial. Black preparing screen. Don't know how. I can't help you here. Hit us up on Discord. And if Net's around, he works with a community mod. He might be able to help you quickly. But more than happy to try and help out with that. All right. How about the turkey tokens? I'm thinking of Syndicate or Premium Mirror Dust. I guess I have been talking about everything, not turkey. But There's actually a couple of good answers here. For me, I like the mirror research turn in. Why? Premium mirror dust is in it. So if you look at the Incursions one, it doesn't have the premium mirror dust. Is this fine? Like, I'm not going to sit here and gripe after I just praised the Incursions event store updates. But this one does have premium dust in it. And as a low spender or free to play, you need as much as you can with that slow drip of premium mirror dust. It's one of the things that I pull in my Terran Empire for PvP arenas. But this is really good because it helps you get some of those pulls. As far as the crewing, I'm not a big fan of this for 10 shards. I think it's much more valuable to upgrade your research and such. I'm also not really big on the tier up catalyst, even though it's nice to get 2,000. For me, the mirror research, if you're level 40 plus, is the most valuable. But kind of pick what works for you. If I'm a low level player, I'm staring at Syndicate XP. You know, right? If I'm level 25, 30, I'm staring at Syndicate XP and going, there's where my value is. So, you know, again, good additions to the stores, and we can only hope that type of just paradigm persists with Scopely. I think November, I'm including those in November, good updates, right? We'll hope December stays the same. Community mod is dead. It's literally not dead, Vladimir. NetNiv runs it, and if you need help with it, join up in our Discord. It's literally not dead, and we work with that all the time. Definitely not dead. You're probably missing an update that you should have done. There was an issue with officer pulls, and if you're not on the latest version of the community mod, you might be having issues. So, but again, hit us up if you need help with that. We'll get you sorted. We'll get you sorted. Community mod is also, well, thanks, Quazel. By the way, Quazel, for those that don't know, is one of our nerds who does a lot of spreadsheeting. They're pretty dope. Say hi to your nerds. Everybody say thanks to your nerds. Yeah, Vladimir, if you're having issues, don't worry. We can get the community mod working. It's known, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. So, Samo, thank you as well. Samo, another one of our content creators over on Twitch. Thanks, nerds. Always thank your nerds, right? Any word on the free-to-play Fringy Whip? No word, and I'll be honest. I wouldn't trade the Fringy Whip for any of the things that got added in. I'm still obsessed with Lorca, but I will continue to advocate for the whip to get a free-to-play path. I will continue that. All right? And then when it happens, I'll take all the credit. No, I'm just going to continue to push for that, but there's not a path yet. I will continue to push for that because I do think that everybody should have access to everything at some point in time. I'm a firm believer that every prime, every paid item should have a path, even if it takes 6 months to get that path or get it unlocked. It should be there. I will continue to push for those things. Let's check my refineries. I think my times are, yeah, I've got 3 hours so I can do my pulse. So check our factions. I'll get my grinds in real quick so I don't forget through all this excitement. Sugar Fat Man says, I despise PvP in this game, but I took rank 1 and 2 PvP SLBs this month because they would get me 2 trophies I'd need to unlock Lorca. The efficiency Lorca has is nuts. Agreed. Yeah. Even if you don't like PvP, if you're willing to just complete the events, there are some great rewards at the moment. And again, I'm not leaving the sermon I've been preaching all year, all right? Only do what you enjoy. I'm simply making sure you know and understand the value that exists somewhere, and you can decide if it's worth doing to go after. Because I do know that a lot of people just don't like Incursions, and I respect that, right? In fact, I celebrate it as an opportunity for those people to take a day off from the game. Because let me tell you what can really make you enjoy Star Trek Fleet Command, not being in it every day. I know that sounds silly, but you taking a day back to not worry about Star Trek Fleet Command, maybe you choose Incursions Day as that day, you'll be like, wow, I feel refreshed, I feel revived. That ignoring FOMO thing really works. So you don't have to do it, but again, like Sugar Fat Man says, they're not a PvPer. Sugar Fat Man was one of those level 39s we talked about for a long time. It was like 500 million power, and why would you wait that? That's how they play their game. They're not a PvPer. They want to dominate the PvE and the Armadas. Cool. And even they're going after things to give them FC Lorca just because it's how it's going to change their game, right? And it can't be understated the opportunity that newer players and, you know, mid and lower level players now have compared to like when we were first going through the 40s. The amount of efficiency that's being presented to G4 and G5 is, well, it's expected. Like, you know, as time passes, they're going to add these things in. But still, as the person who's had to go through it how it originally was laid out, you're going to want these percentages. You don't want to go through the arm twisting and the pain that the previous generation of G4, G5 went through. Take advantage of these things if you can. Chrono, with the STFC statistics, man, we got all the content creators here today. Good to see you, Chrono. How are you doing? Happy December. Steve says, I'm interested to see how tomorrow's maintenance affects the servers with Incursions going on ATM. Well, don't have an answer to that, but Incursions should be done before that maintenance launches. I'll double check the time, but that should be completely done. Incursions should be finited. All right, this is your screenshot of your latest hit. Okay, Valhalla, we'll check it after the stream. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. All right, came to Star Trek to get away from nerds. Oh yeah, AQ, same, but here we are. Yep, here we are. Let me go ahead and get my Defiant Tron skin while we're just sitting here. Hope all is well. Thank you, Chrono. I do need to bug you again. But yeah, things are going quite well, man. Good to see you. Chrono, what do you think of the new ship? Do you have thoughts, positive or negative? My only main negative is just, darn, another loop. And that's just going to be a negative kind of forever for me. But I do like a lot of the aspects of it. I will admit, the scrapping and evolution process is pretty neat. Like, I like that. As a game mechanic, I like that my ship is actually evolving. I think that's pretty cool. Obviously, I want a lot of my older loops to get, processed through, and I want my older loops to be dated so I don't have to worry about them anymore. But I do like this. I do think they put in some good thought here. And I do love that there's no mystery, right? Remember with the Stella, you had to come to content creators and know exactly what to do and where to scrap and all this other things? Well, it's baked in. Like, we know exactly where to scrap. We know exactly what to do here. So I like that. Details are good. Details are good. Now, keep in mind that we've not played with this, but we'll see. Chrono says, it's interesting, yet I have to see how it will be positioned in the phases after this art. Absolutely. And obviously, free-to-play sourcing for this stuff and long-term usage key. And how is that going to work? Well, they don't tell us that in these articles. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. Who's that Pokemon? My basic ship evolved into a longer time sink, and I'm okay with that, honestly. What's a long time sink I don't mind? My Talios. Level 35 to the upper 50s. I'm okay with it as long as it's relevant and viable, right? That's the key. It has to be good. Like, it has to have a point to do all this. Or it could be the sarcophagus. Hope to God this is not the sarcophagus. Hope to heavens it's not that. Of course, we'll see it when it rolls out. We'll see it when it rolls out. Let me pop this back on the screen so we can get back. I got to at least do my anomalous phenomenon and my dailies. Can't forget about those things. Tad too little info available yet, but I'm eager to see what improvements come. Same. My biggest thing, and I mentioned this earlier, is if I'm Scopely's PR team, I don't know if I'm promoting the ship without also telling players, hey, don't worry, it's not just new content, also quality of life things coming, right? Now, I cannot tell you the things that are happening this month. That's just how they do things. They want to preview a specific thing. I can tell you there are things specifically for quality of life that are happening in December, so QOL has not been forgotten. And I'm very curious to see what people think of those things. But we've all been around Star Trek Fleet Command long enough to know the player base is going to see new complicated loop and immediately, cringe. Understandably. We've been blasted with this for years. But just to assuage any, potential worries, it's not a abandoned quality of life month. That doesn't mean I'm telling you you're going to love the quality of life as much as you did the IA building, but this is another month that is going to try to improve things that people have been asking for QOL while also presenting a new loop. So just FYI on that one. Kind of throw in a little bit more additional context. Cayman says the only thing about the new ship I'm mad about is that it isn't the all good things future Enterprise D 3 nacelle refit. Fair. That's fair. Yeah. We actually had a long conversation Cayman on Twitch last night. I know not everybody uses Twitch, but last night we were discussing ships that are Star Trek, like from the series, that has never gotten into the game. And even stuff that was made in the past that's never made its way into the game. And I will admit, kind of frustrating. I'll give you a visual example. Let's see if I can find one. We had the article last night. It was on Reddit. And I also did a video about it. Maybe somebody can send it to me real quick if you were around last night and you actually saved the picture. I forgot to save it. Well, like there are 3 common 4-star ships that never made it into the game. There is the Vengeance that was designed, you know, the one from the Kelvin movies, the big one that destroys the Enterprise. Spoiler. That was designed and never made it into the game. There's a lot of Star Trek stuff that they've done and worked on that has never progressed into STFC. But as long as it works, I'll be happy with it. But I do agree with you. There's a lot of cool stuff that they've yet to explore, and hopefully they will here in STFC. I wish they do more canon Trek ships than all these generic stuff. Well, Slither's not much generic in here. For example, Monavine, Star Trek, Mantis, Star Trek, like that's a canon ship. There's only a couple things that aren't canon, right? The NSEA is canon. It's just not Star Trek canon. You don't thank Paramount for that, but it is a canon ship. Just Paramount wanted to promote Galaxy Quest. So there's only a couple of ships that really hit the game that aren't the quote unquote canon. It's not like we're being overrun with non-canon ships. So like, I don't understand that argument, honestly. But that's just me. I personally don't care because I also don't see the game as canon. So which ships are not canon? Well, there are a couple that aren't. The Vindicator is not. I can't think of it being in any Strange New World episode. I'm pretty sure it's not canon. So there are a couple, but yeah. Do any of the ships have cannons? The Mantis? Yeah, the Mantis has cannons. Don't know why, because it just doesn't feel as Star Trek as other things, but it's not, you know, a Federation ship. Yeah, the Mantis has cannons, and it's canon. Yeah, it's canon with cannons. There you go. Not clutching at straws at all, Slither. It's not clutching at straws at all. This is literally canon. So, that's literally canon. All right. You want more cannons on your ships? I mean, it can be done. Usually something you'd find probably more in other sci-fi universes, but yeah, here you go. Here's your cannons. Right there on your Mantis. Right there. All right. The Vor, Vidar, Talos, etc. are all non-canon. They are, but that's over the past 5 years. So again, it's not like we're getting inundated with non-canon ships. Crozier has cannons? Does the Crozier have cannons? I know it has armor plating. I remember talking with the lead game designer at the time who was designing that, and I remember us talking so much about the inspiration from Voyager. I don't remember it having cannons on it. Does it? I don't think those little things are cannons. Are they? I mean, maybe they are. I've never thought of them as cannons, but I guess they are cannons. They look too small to me to be cannons. Not that I'm trying to size shame the cannons there, but I guess they are cannons. I've just never paid attention to that. All right, well, okay. Okay. I've honestly never looked at that and thought cannons. I've always thought of, now granted, it would make no sense for it to be aerodynamic in space, but I've always thought of it like little canards and stuff. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, sure. There you go. Crozier, cannons. Alrighty. Back into the stream. Let me go ahead and throw some of these things out. I've definitely got to do my events before I forget about them because I'm really bad about that. Do the phaser bait cannon or torpedo launcher? Well, it's definitely not a torpedo launcher. At least not from a Federation standpoint. I guess it could be a cannon. But even Federation cannons in the canon, how many times can we say that word? Take a shot every time Rev says cannon. But all those were like pulse phasers and stuff, and even those were like embedded into ships. They didn't really have a lot of outward cannons. Star Wars has a ton of that. But anyway, back to getting my events done. Get your Mantis Max, you won't have to grind anymore. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. All right, can we have a simulated ships added to X-Borg? Don't worry, I've been asking for that for a while, JF. We'll see if it happens. I actually brought that up to another game design individual this month. Well, November. So, because it's technically 1st of December now. Could be mini cannons. You know what? I actually figured out right now what's on the Crozier. For those that didn't know, I don't know how this left my mind. I apologize. Y'all are right. These are cannons. These are t-shirt cannons. Now, I'm so sorry. I forgot about this. For when they do parades in space, these are t-shirt cannons. They shoot out to the other spaceships. That's why they're so small. They're just shooting t-shirts. So I should have remembered that. That's on me. I forgot the Crozier had t-shirt cannons. It's part of the party system that the Federation introduced. My apologies. All right. Must have missed that Incursions. Exchange has a cooldown. Will miss getting additional Lorca shards. Plus, didn't find exchange in the trophy tab till today. Too bad. Hey, look. It's okay, Darren, because like I said, even I missed the trophy update until yesterday. So I'll bite the bullet a little bit on that. And obviously with it being the holidays, and I told everybody in my community this weekend. Yes, I normally do a video anytime something happens in STFC, but I decided this year there were going to be a couple of days and things that I just went, nope, we're going to focus on family, and I spent it with the kids. So not that I'm abandoning y'all, not that I'm doing less content, not saying that in any way, shape, or form. I just said I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So there were a couple of videos I could have made that did not get made. But good news, I did take my kids out and we got a Christmas tree. So there's a little enterprise on top of that. So my tree is more canon. Star Trek Fleet Command. Nailed it. There you go. There you go. Christmas tree is up. Thankfully, Christmas trees are very cheap in Louisiana. All right, you're a noob, level 22, server 706. Love your content. Well, thank you, Tim. A huge tree. It's, if I had people guess, they'd think that I'm crazy rich. But in Louisiana, trees are cheap. As in, Christmas trees in Louisiana are generally about $10 per foot. So I know some of y'all are out there with like, you know, those Douglas firs or whatever they import from Canada. They want like $800 for a 6-foot tree. Rev could never. But this is just a good old boy tree that we chopped down in Louisiana. So very cheap tree. Louisiana homegrown trees. Trees don't grow on trees. Yeah, they grow on tree farms. Yeah, in nice little rows, actually. Have a nice rest of the day. Well, thank you, Patrick. I appreciate that. It's the holidays, don't worry. I know. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm trying to get information out, but I don't want people to think that I'm not making videos either, right? So I will have a nice video tomorrow trying to help everybody break down the new ship and the new loop. And, of course, Tuesday, we'll be giving away battle passes, and all the fun things are still going to happen. I just want to let y'all know why this particular thing did not have like a video on YouTube. That's it. Yeah. When I was a kid, I was taking them from the forest. Yeah, we have like a little, you go out into the country here and you pick your tree, you chainsaw it down, you take it home. So, yeah. All right, let's see. I'll make sure I'm not losing anything. If y'all are wanting to catch up, if y'all just came in, I can't believe we've been streaming for 40 minutes already. More than happy to provide all that. And of course, a big thank you to those who watch the show, hit the like button, etc. Y'all are how I'm able to give my kids these memories. All right. Where do I get the weird people mission to unlock the export faction? Corey, it should spawn and populate automatically. Let's see if I can find it real quickly to provide you a link. It's supposed to trigger. And then once you hit it, it's available in the holodeck under, I think, the legacy tab. I'm seeing if I can find it on stfc.space. But as soon as you hit level 38, it should trigger as being available. Let's see, where's the mission? People. Well. All right, stfc.space. For some reason, I can't find it. But it should populate automatically once you're at 38, but you got to go into the holodeck and pick it up. I don't know why it's not on stfc.space, or maybe I'm just looking in the wrong spot. But once you hit level 38, it should be here in your holodeck. Corey says it is in the legacy tab. Thank you. Cool. Good to know. Good to know. You found it? Awesome, Corey. So, amazing the things that you have to memorize around here. But yeah, as soon as you hit 38, that mission should be available, but you do have to go pick it up. You have to go pick it up. Is the Titan still worth going after? Yes. In my opinion, absolutely. Yeah, the max fortification and the abilities you can use with that, and whether you're talking about in PvP or in armadas, solo armadas, yes, I think it's valuable. And then don't forget, the Titan is still one of your sourcings for Fleet Commander stuff, right? Don't forget the refinery for the Titan. You go into, gosh, so many different things now. Support, Fleet Commander stuff, remember, is tied to the Titan. So you do want to get the Titan and work through that. Sure, maybe small amounts. Sure, maybe you do it like Rev does, where you don't do the Titan all the time, but you do it here and there. You still want to work on it because that's more things needed to upgrade Fleet Commanders and do all the stuff. So definitely still worth going after. Yeah. Went from 1 shard to 63 shards of Fleet Commander Lorca due to Incursion rewards. The new store and Incursion event rewards are a huge upgrade. I agree, Wolfwood. And it makes me excited that something that is so powerful is being made available to free-to-play and light spenders so early. You know, it's just, darn it, it makes me a little bit proud of Scopely. It's like, oh my God, they understand. All right, well, many more examples are needed to override years of abuse, but it is still nice. It is still very nice. So, G5 Innovation and Terran Empire is also amazing. Yes, and I've already gotten it. It is indeed. And you're right, Chrono. Don't jinx it. Carrie, good to see you. Welcome on into our Sunday stream. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And yeah, good to see you. I just reminded me I need to go do the Titan. I need to do that. So let's get all of our things collected in today. Hey, there's my broken to ceiling rods. And I'm a little bit from getting data tiered up, which is really exciting. And yay, Latinum. Always worth getting more Latinum. Sweet. Now I just got to do the same thing on the other account. Now, what was today's turkey event? Swarms. Oh, yay. I mean, that's always great. Yeah. That's a lot of swarms, even level 50s. Well, son of a biscuit eater. Wasn't looking forward to doing that today, but I guess we do what we got to do. Yep, I shouldn't have praised them. Did not have praised them. Anyway, what other comments and questions do we have? It's Swarm Sunday on Monday, I guess. I'll get it done. I'll get it done, Chrono. Look, I've said it before. Swarms is a dead mechanic. And I'm okay with some mechanics being dead. 2 holes killing 50s complete the event. Imagine having to do 2 holes. Now, it should be easy for me to math out. I won't die. It's just more of me mathing out how much I have to do. Let me actually do that real quick. 7.9 million divided by 175,691. I've got to kill 45 hostiles. And y'all know that I have a rule that I do not like to do anything that requires more than 20 hostile kills. I hate it. Hate it. But I'll do it. All right. I'll do it. But that's too many. It's too many. All right. 2 ships and a speed crew. Not a bad idea at all, Mihai. Not a bad idea at all. Actually, how about we go ahead and take your advice? You know what? We'll go with an Enterprise A. We'll speed crew it. There we go. We'll use these 2. We'll go make it happen. Still annoys me. Don't like that. Are you excited about the new ship? Yes and no, Yosef. Here's what I'm always going to do. And I made it a point to do it this year. I'm not going to hype y'all up, right? I'm not going to just try to get y'all excited about something until we see how things actually are. I want y'all to like the quality of life updates enough this month to be okay with the new loot. Do I like the loot? I have nothing really against the loop. I think the rewards that are attached to it are really good. But kind of where we put success or failure in the loop is really now more based on, am I adding more time to the game, right? So if the quality of life is balancing it out or we're getting a net positive, then we're probably going to like the loop, right? Is that logic sound? Does everybody kind of agree with that? Or you come from a different, paradigm? I believe that as long as the quality of life is good enough for the month, almost any loop will be liked to a degree. I have nothing really against the loop on paper. It's more of a how will it fit in to the game with all the other things that we hope they do, and either they give us enough or they don't. That's how I view it now. Very rarely are there loops that come out that I dislike. I did dislike the mirror loop because I hate I have to click every system to get somewhere. I can't stand that. So yes, there are loops that do come out that I dislike. This one does not have that from anything that I've seen so far. So sure, but at the same time, if I knew, and this is not happening, but if I knew there was 0 quality of life coming, not a drip of QOL, would I like this loop? No. But there is QOL coming. The question is, how good is the QOL? Which I'll be honest, I will only really know once it rolls out. We have been told that there's quality of life stuff being launched. We'll see how that is. So if it's good enough, I'm great with the loop. If it's not good enough, then I will be griping with y'all right there with the pitchfork in one hand and a torch in the other. So All right, let's see. It'll be months before we can get the ship, I assume, so I'll decide on the loop then. Also, fair way to look at it, James. Also completely fair with a lot of things having that 1 month paywall, which is honestly to be expected. Completely fine to essentially ignore it until it becomes relevant to you. Completely fine with that. Swarm systems. Where is the 50 swarm? It's out here, isn't it? Yeah. 50 swarm, 49. There it is. On the way. All right. Alrighty. What new ships do you think Scopely will add to the archives? We'll just have to wait and see, Murphy. Again, there's a lot of stuff that we all want. We all want the Disco. We want the Stella. Hell, we want the Stella even more now that there's a Stella 2.0 coming out, even though they're not technically related. I want the sarcophagus. I want all the things in there. And I'm not telling y'all that that's happening this month, but I am telling y'all game design has already made it clear more ships to be added to the IA building. So it's not a we did it 1 month and then it's a dead mechanic. There are more things coming. Question of when and which. But in theory, everything's going to get into the IA building by how game design has talked. Question of when. Does the Sarco have a loop? I mean, it does technically have a loop, Chrono. I mean, it's just tied to territory and boringness. Ineffective. So, wish they would add buttons to jump to certain research sections for like G3, G4, G5. That's fair, Robert. Having, being able to go into your actual research menu, and let's say you went to the combat tree, and they are basically separated by G3, G4, G5, G6. Be nice to have something up here, just click it, and it jumps you, like, let's just say here, right? 4-star interceptor stuff, and just jump there. Or, if you are in the 5-star, it jumps here. That would be pretty cool. So, and sukiness, yes, that as well, David. Thank you for adding clarity to a very muddy situation. Yeah, absolutely. If everybody didn't know how I feel about the sarcophagus, you probably will after every time I mention it. So, yeah. Are they trying to fix the attack button? It is part of the bug list, and they are aware of it. I can't really give you anything more besides that. So, what you're here for? Appreciate it, David. It is appreciated. Nice to have all primes in one tree. So I understand that because primes are primes, but I do think it makes more sense to have primes where they belong, right? Like if it's a starship prime, it should be with that starship or starships. If it's a combat prime, it should be, in my opinion, in a combat research tree. I do get what you're saying though. And with there being so many prime nodes, there needs to be better organization, yada, yada. 1000% agree with you. I'm simply saying that I would rather go with like the previous recommendation, which is to like add tabs and better sorting than to just say, hey, let's just put all things into another bucket. So I think a filter system is a better route than a, let's just put everything in one spot, because eventually what's going to happen, and you might not even be aware of this, Ryan, but there's about 200 primes in the game already. So even if they had their own bucket, you're still sorting through 200 primes. So I think what's more needed is an actual organization system that is easy to keep up with and that people can take advantage of than a putting all primes in a bucket. Because when there's 200 primes, well, that's not exactly making things easier either. Having it set up in a way that you can easily find what you're looking for is what I would encourage players to push for more than just make a different bucket. I think we're past the point of needing a new bucket. I think we actually need better organization, better ways to find and search what you're looking for. But anyway, that's just a thought. Not trying to shut down your idea. I just think it's better directed into a different direction. Hard to remember which ones you've done. Oh, yeah, absolutely get that. Now, I will say there are great community tools that help with this, Ryan. So if you're not already using SPX Club, I would encourage you to check out SPX Club. It is absolutely phenomenal. Let me give you a visual example of why SPX Club is so good. We were talking about Lorca and different things that improve efficiencies, right? Well, what if you could see how much your cost-efficient reductions were? Well, you can with SPX Club. Let me show you and put this on the screen. So this is going to be my SPX Club. I'm going to go to the cost calculator, and I'm going to type in SOMPEC. All right, here's my SOMPEC. So if I wanted to know what my costs are going to be to upgrade and do all the things, hey, SPX Club, why are you so slow right now? Don't be like Scopely. You can't lag. Come on, SPX Club. What not? Why? Why today? Glare. If you're watching, why'd you break it? Why'd you break it, Glare? Oh, there we are. We're fine now. Never mind. Ignore Rev. So anyway, what I want to show you is the build bonuses. Here I can see mathed out all the percentages that I've reached. So for example, my 5-star uncommon refined gas, I've got a 629% efficiency bonus. That's all of them added up. That's everything that I've done so far added up in one spot. I can see that's my number, right? Dilithium, 1154, titanium, 1294. My Explorer parts are at 788. Can you tell what I focused on for a while? So this is nice. Now, I know this is not in-game, and I do agree it'd be nice to have this in-game. But until that actually happens, I do want people to know that there are tools like this available that players have made that are very useful, that you can take advantage of. And you can see right here, you can see where all your stuff's at, making it very easy. Remember, I showed this in the ISS Jelly video. You knew, well, am I profitable when I'm scrapping the ISS Jelly? It's because of stuff like this, we can know if we've made it to that point and how much we're going to get back for everything and how much our cost reduces. You can see like base cost, if I wanted to max out Sompec, well, that's 3.26 million uncommon refined gas, but it would actually only cost me 447,000 because of how much research I have. So it's a great tool if y'all aren't already using it. If you need help with using it, of course, you can reach out to me or any of the amazing volunteers, and I'm sure most of us will be more than happy to help you out with it if you've never used it and would like to. I feel like Scoping might be revamping the augment store. It feels kind of empty. Well, it should be getting pretty empty with the IA building, right? Hopefully all these things kind of get emptied out. You don't have to worry about as much and do as much. That's the hope, right? Can I re-ask my question about why you did not go IA Vidar? So why on this account I didn't go the Vidar? Just because it's not very relevant for me. It doesn't really give me much. And I decided to tackle the biggest cost first. So my logic was Voyager is the most expensive. I'm going to take the Voyager one as high as I can until I can max my Voyager, which my Voyager is one part away from maxing. And then after that, I worked on the tallies, just based on what the rewards give. Now, as a lower level, my level 25 account is going Vidar immediately. But on this account, I went Voyager because I'm closest to maxing. That was the basic idea. I want to get the ones that I'm almost done with and that are going to expedite the last bit of that grind. I don't need the Vidar. I'm already done with the Vidar. And sure, these will be nice to get, but I'm not rushing to get that. That's very small amounts for me at my level. So at my level 25 account, though, it's screaming for the Vidar. Like, that is its primary goal. Just depends on where you're at, and you have to find what gives you the most benefit. For me, doing the Vidar and spinning those pillar materials doesn't benefit me as much as speeding up my loop for the Voyager, speeding up my loop for the Talios. Those just have more value. So, because you max and give, I mean, I know, but the amount of credits and stuff it's giving me are so low. What's more valuable to me? Maxing out the Voyager loop and getting that stuff. Maxing out the Monavine loop. There's not, I mean, I'm not saying the Vidar has no value, but 600 credits a day is nothing for me at my level. And 100,000 rep for me is nothing at my level. I've got over 12 million charged nanoprobes saved up right now, right? So I'm not saying it doesn't have value, but the value will vary based on what level you are. This provides, yes, more is more, but what's more important for me? What's more important for me are the bonuses I'm getting from getting the Voyager done faster. Here's a good example. I get 600 credits a day from the Vidar, right? 600 credits a day for each faction. However, the Voyager, this makes the Voyager's ability cheaper. What does that relate to? Well, that means that I can more easily have all the messages I need from summoning Borg cubes, which means I can come into here every day, turn this in, and this one gives me 700. Based on my rep, this one gives me 1475. So just doing the Voyager and making the Voyager abilities cheaper, making it easier to use, and I can make sure I always have that stockpile ready, I don't need it. Now, I'm not saying I won't go and get it. I absolutely will. But it's all about where your account is and what has value to you. I went after what has more immediate value to me, which is getting the Voyager done and also working on speeding up the Monavine. And then I'm going to do the Talios after. The reason I haven't done the Talios is because it doesn't max out until level 58. So again, it just depends on where you're at, what you're needing. A level 25, can't wait for the Vidar one. So find you're running out of summoning juice most of the time. Summon cooldown takes ages. AQ, have you tried to break up your spin cost by using the Eviscerator? So have you thought about doing that if you are running out of juice, if you're using that ability quite often? Pilar says, I saved the Voyager last because it was the most expensive, so I only have Voyager left because I'm on level 50. Fair. Absolutely fair way to approach it, Gilliard. I went after Voyager and Monavine because those are two that I can actually max right now. You can technically max either one of those at level 51. So that's why I went after them. And then I will, probably go back, do the Vidar one real quick and then work on the Talios. And we'll see what gets added in after I do all those. And how many have I hit? Am I done yet? Have I hit 40 yet? Probably not. I haven't even paid attention to how many I've been hitting. Oh man, you're gonna give me Swarm Sunday stuff I don't care about. I don't care about that. Stop spamming me Swarm Sunday. We are almost done. We're almost done. We are working towards it. You're not running out of juice. You got tons of Voyager summoning juice. You just want something to be quicker. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I was interpreting disco summoning. I didn't think of summoning cubes and summoning bios. Yeah, I get what you're saying. What I normally do, AQ, is I just actually send the Voyager out to the system. And I don't actively monitor it. And I just hit summon. And as long as it actually hits me, I know nobody's stealing it. Then I'm off doing other things. And I just go back to the summoning button every minute or so and do it that way. That's my method. You know that a maxed int E is only 98 billion power? Yeah. I mean, it varies. I've seen several maxed int E's. The IA building bonus and Neelix do work in conjunction with each other, Jay Forbes. That's what I do. Because my summoning cost without a max Neelix is currently 182. So they do work together. And a max Neelix would be even better. Hey, what's up, OG Woody? Welcome in. How are you doing today? All right, we finished yet? We done? We done? Is this it? Yes, we're done. All right, the annoying swarm grind has been done. And now I have finally unlocked my turkey. All right, now I'm turkey, and now I'm going to do my plate. Yay. All right, so let's recall these, and let's go debate what I collect. Just joining, has the turkey bowl been discussed at all? We are in the top 3 for every day, but most of our members can't see the event. Some missed Thanksgiving Day. They don't see the event. You did have to place to see, if I remember correctly. It has been discussed a little bit. I know we've discussed a lot in my Discord. But there are some instances of people participating and Alliance participating and not seeing anything. So those have been tickets that have been submitted, and there's not been any resolution on those. But, I mean, there is a participation requirement to collect rewards. All right, and I just talked about grabbing that, so I will. I'm not going to lie. Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm not close to 40. If I was close enough to hit 40, I probably would have just done that. But let's go ahead and get our Thanksgiving mirror in. Get more premium dust. Get more premium dust for our turkey. And then blow through some speed ups, because what better way to spend your day than blowing through speed ups so you can go do mirror research. All right, get this. I still have not done my anomalous phenomenon. Y'all don't let me forget. Really don't want to forget. Would be cutting streams short a little bit today. But again, like I said, family weekend, and I'm spending a lot of time with the kids. But if you have questions, my DMs are always open. I really want to stress that, because even today, I still have people like, well, you get so many messages. I don't care. I don't care if I get 800 messages. I don't. Message me if you need anything. Hit me up on Discord if you need anything. Want to help you out. All right, let's go back here and see, what do I want to do? Oh, my Lanta, what to pick. Decisions. And thank you, Robert. We did. I appreciate you asking and saying. Never justify having to spend time with the people that makes life worth living. Well, JF, while I appreciate the sentiment, let's not pretend like that's how everybody feels. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. I do agree, Sugar Fat Man, ship parts efficiency, very good. Here's my counter to that, Sugar Fat Man. You are right, very valuable. I do want to work down this track and start getting into these, which means I do need to do this one too. Like, I want to get to all this, but I've got to go down the path, right? But you're absolutely right. This is super good. Yeah. This is super good. I don't like wasting juice, David. If you were around the stream more, you'd know that. So now I'm shaming you for not coming to the streams. Yeah, David. Why don't you come to the streams more? Where have you been? Hey, David. What are you doing with your life? Get shamed. All right. So the debate is, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do both of them. So 30% cost efficiency, which is good, or work down my tree. I'm gonna work down the tree. Here's why. Here's why. Only reason why, Fleet Commander Lorca. That's why. Because I can get more of this and do that. That's the reason. There's the logic. You end up getting more juice than you use? Yeah, but then you end up getting less than you would have had you not used the summon. All right, David, you got to get better. Get gooder, David. Get gooder. Got to get gooder. You did message me and you hate you? Okay, I'm glad you hate me. Good. But I don't have a message from you. I don't have a message from you, Hellcats. When did you send one? Well, I don't have a recent one. Did you send it like... I'm actually scrolling through all the messages now. I don't have a recent one from you. Small announcement going to change your game? That's your opinion, and I disagree with it. Get gooder. Get gooder, David. Get gooder. Hope they keep Lorca in the Incursion store next time. There's no reason for them to remove it. I mean, I guess they could, but that would be a severe negative backlash for no reason. Why bring that upon yourself? Why bring negative backlash on yourself? I say that as if they haven't done that before, but truthfully, why do that? You've never run out of juice? I have multiple times. Maybe you're just not using it enough. Maybe you don't play the way I do. I've run out of juice several times. All right, let's go here. Admittedly, not run out of juice since I got an Eviscerator, but it does happen, especially if you're doing a lot of PvP, which this server is a lot of PvP. Can you explain what you mean by going down the MU research tree concerning Lorca? Well, I was simply saying that the mirror research tree has a lot of great stuff in it in the premium track. But the reason I opted to not go after premium ship parts efficiency this time is I need to get through here so I can get all of these as well, especially the premium ISOs. I mean, that 50% is huge. So I want to work through here to get through this tree. And it was a, do I continue to dump into what is very good, or do I start working on all the other things that I need? And I'm opting to work through this tree because I got Lorca this weekend. And because of Lorca, I'm not saying that they don't work together, because they do, but ship parts efficiency I have right here. So that 30% of what I got, I'll get it from Lorca, and then I'll try to work through that tree over there. So. I don't have anything from Hellcats. Got no message from you, cats. Got none from you. Needs everything to elevate. Oh, I'm aware, Sandra. I'm aware. But you got to work towards it at some point, right? You got to work towards it at some point. Meanwhile, you've maxed Lorca out and still want more efficiency. So, I mean, we always want more, right? There's never enough efficiency, right? We all need more, especially for those of us who aren't spending. Every single one of us needs more. So it's just, finding, again, what works for you value-wise. And just like I want more ISO here. And also I've been dumping into, the shield regen a little bit. Every little bit adds up. This is Rev on behalf of my alliance mates who aren't on Discord, Facebook, and he always answers within 24 hours. My goal is to always respond faster than Scopely does. Now, thankfully for me, that's a super low bar, right? Super low bar. Like I can goof off with David here and go answer a message and talk to Skippy and go answer a message, etc. before Scopely can get back to you. But that is one of my goals, is I try to respond to everybody within 48 hours and I actually mean it. I don't always pass that grade, but I do try. You maxed the parts or station resources yet or haven't, but those aren't the main bottlenecks right now. What is your main bottleneck right now, Meme, if you don't mind me asking? Because obviously everybody's accounts can be in different spots and have different, bottlenecks. So. All right, let me see. Got all that good. Okay, sweet. Now I just need to pick another research. What do I pick? Territory. Mats. See, ship parts is probably my biggest right now, which is what made that such a difficult decision for me. Ship parts are probably my biggest at the moment. So just, finding what you can upgrade and what works for you. We're going to do that for my Klingons. Yeah. It's such a little bit, but that reminds me to go pull my Chronoton particles. ISO is so valuable. ISO and Apex are the name of damage game right now. Not that things like criticals and hull breach aren't important, but if you're not getting your ISO, you're wondering, well, how are some of these ships beating me? That's how. You know, ran into a player on server 17, this Incursions, and he's clearly a spender, nothing wrong with that, but he had a 1.6 billion powered Crozier, wasn't even maxed. The biggest reason, he has over 200% ISO. I mean, that's a significant amount of power, right? For comparison, I think my Vorchaz is like 80%. So, you know, things to always try to work on. Now, granted, not everybody's going to be able to have access to those things, right? But improving your ISO is big. Here, I'll just show you. I don't have a screenshot of that one saved, probably, but I'll go one. I'll jack up. Oh, my goodness. Didn't mean to do that. All right, let me fix this that I just broke. Anybody ever squeeze their game a little bit too much? All right, let me see. I doubt I have one left, but let's go back and see if I have a log left from him. If I can show you his ISO. I should. I mean, I haven't done much. Like I said, family. I think it was him. Yeah, I think this was him. So this is his Crozier. You'll note, not maxed. This is a level 59 player, so it's not like a G6 player who has their Crozier flying around. This is a level 59 player. Where's my info button? Doggone it. Where's my info button? You little lint liquor. All right, let's see. Do I have another one with him with the info button? How about this one? There we go. So, right there. See that ISO, 228.7%, even his defense? And then compare that to, because most of your ISO is going to be pretty close to each other. 44 here, and we can see what my Vorchai is, which is obviously my current best attack ship, is 51%. So you have 4 times more ISO than me, and only 6 levels higher. So ISO, another example, is just something that currently in the game, new things come out, it's very valuable. ISO is huge for attack. Obviously, ISO defense, good, but Apex barrier, absolutely critical as well. So, wondering like, wow, how did that ship beat me? That's how. That's how. They did their research, including the ones that need to be paid for. So, break for now is your game away name. Oh, okay. Okay. You can't expect me to keep up with your names. I'm definitely not. If for my convenience, if every single one of you could maintain the exact same username in game and on Twitch and on Discord and on Facebook and on YouTube, greatly appreciate it. Don't ever change your name. I will forget it. All right. I do have to wrap up a little bit earlier today. If y'all have further questions, need further help, please reach out to me. Appreciate and love every single one of you. Live long and plunder. Stay safe with our Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my community. Know that I like every single one of you. I love some of you, but I like every single one of you. I'll see you tomorrow with more content, more videos. Let me know if you need anything. Out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.